Hi, this is Katie Bassey, your trusted realtor. I live in the Kern County area at the moment, but my brokerage affiliation, EXP, amazing brokerage, is in LA. So I traipse through Kern County, through Santa Clarita to LA as much as is needed. And so I wanted to cater to my audience, letting you know in California that's the specific stretch that I focus on, but that does not preclude any other areas in California because I am licensed in the state. And I wanted to address this session to buyers. So please hit subscribe. I wanted to offer you my phone number, 661-525-3015, in case you have any questions about real estate or you're interested in buying or selling. I'd be more than happy to assist you with that transaction. Again, my why for doing this, I got into real estate because of a bad lender experience. You people have probably heard me say this, so I apologize if it's a broken record, but for those joining on that are new, thank you again for all of you being here. I just wanted to give you an introduction to who I am. So I'm very big on education. I have 24 years worth of experience tutoring, and it has served me well. I love to educate people so that they're empowered to make informed decisions for themselves. So that being said, let's get into it, right? So I wanted to address the importance of home inspections for buyers. Now, many people buy real estate for various reasons. So it could be for an investment, it could be for an occupancy as, a live-in home, or it could be a second vacay home, it could be for a rental, and the list is endless. And the idea is different segments of the population, depending on the intent, have different ways of approaching the purchase agreement. So back when I started, it was 2017. Even through 2018, the form hadn't changed much for the purchase agreement. I believe CAR does annual reviews. And so the latest review was June 16th of this year. And so I keep current with the forms and the changes for the most part. There's been a lot of changes because there are over 100 forms. It's amazing the amount of work their legal team does. And in the purchase agreement when I started in 2017, it was item 7A. That's where the reports and the inspections and disclosures and all of that were packaged. In other words, the buyer could opt for a home inspection as part of the agreement at the buyer's expense. It's usually only at the buyer's expense, but there are areas in the listing agreement. So there is one area in the listing agreement. It's in section F of the current version of the CAR form for the exclusive residential listing agreement, where the seller can pay for the home inspection, and you would just check the appropriate box, and that would be considered a buyer concession. So that being said, in the version then I mentioned 7A. So through the years there have been changes to the forms, as I mentioned, and right before the recent revision in June on the 16th, it used to be section L. Guess what? It still is section L, where the buyer would designate, yes, I want to conduct a home inspection. It is one of the contingencies. So I want to address what contingencies are. So the term really refers to an exclusive period that you can exercise your right as a buyer to further investigate the property. So usually it might be so if it's a home inspection contingency or an inspection contingency, as it's most often referred to as, you have about 17 days as part of the standard contract to inspect the property. This gives room for you to find a home inspector, get the report in case there are any delays, review it, see what the expenditures might be if you need to do repairs, all of that. And if you have a great agent like myself, then you'll know what the next steps are. So I know that you can either change by decreasing or increasing the number of days or waiving that inspection period altogether. So going back to that initial talk about different purposes or intents, usually what I've seen with investors, in fact, when I've made purchases of investment properties, I've done this as well. It depends on what you're buying. So you can waive that inspection contingency. What is the value in that? Well, you are saving time in the transaction for one, especially if you're doing an all-cash transaction and you have, say, 10 days to close. Usually cash transactions go a lot quicker than loans. So if that's the case, you can waive that so that it closes faster. If you're buying a vacant land, you don't necessarily need to go and inspect the land. So I always recommend some form of home inspection or land inspection. Either get a surveyor if you really want to get technical about boundaries and making sure that the lot is actually what is supposed to be assigned to you, making sure that there are no easements on the property, making sure that there is no previous agreement between, so it is still related to an easement, but I won't get into the technical terms for real estate. But the idea is you want to make sure that you are dealing with your property. You may want to make sure that there are water lines and power lines. Usually that comes in the disclosures with the listing itself in the MLS, but you still want to do your investigation as a buyer. It's not only your right, but your duty. Whatever you're the one signing to gain ownership of a property, you have to be the responsible party as far as making sure that what you need in the property is present. And what you don't need, the converse is true, is absent. So always encourage home inspections. I always encourage them. That being said, again, it does depend on the intent. When it comes to home inspections, I always recommend that you, the buyer, go through the home and just look. That's the purpose of a home inspection, an open house. So when you go through the open house, you're looking, okay, do I see any leaks in the roof? Do I see any cracks in the baseboards? What am I looking at? Are the kitchen appliances up to date? Now, if you have a great realtor like myself, you'll definitely have all of that notated in an AVID, an agent visual inspection disclosure. And so the idea is you want to do that, but what I recommend is having a professional do it. So a professional will go into a crawl space, something that you're not willing to do, right? Inspect the electrical outlets, make sure that the appliances are working, hot water's running, that there is no exterior damage, that the roof is intact, that there are no missing tiles. I mean, the list is exhaustive. And when you get that report can not only be your reference material, but you can even introduce it into a court of law if you need to justify why you need to get money from the seller. If it ever got to that. Usually we hope that it doesn't get to that, but it is an option. So my point being, you need that backing by an unbiased third party and someone who's going to do the work that you don't want to do. Yeah, it costs a couple $100, but the idea is you're protecting yourself. Remember, your home is your biggest purchase and asset. It's one of the very few assets that appreciates over time and time again. Usually about 1% to 2% used to be the rule. It's changed over the years in value. And the idea, unless there's a market crash or economic change, but the idea is that it usually increases in value for you. So I'm always here. If you have questions, please reach out. As your trusted realtor, Katie Bassey, I am so thankful that you're here and that you watched this video with me. I hope that you have a blessed day, and please let me know through your comments